So here, as Weston McKennie gets the ball, you'll see a really good little interchange between Robinson and Pulisic. So watch, they're just going to do alternating movements and both basically get open. The United States men's national team have defeated Jamaica 4-2 in the second window for Pochettino, and this was far more impressive than anything we've seen to this point. Welcome to Campfire Football. I'm Sebastian North. Yeah, this was impressive, and I know it was just Jamaica and the United States completely dominated this game, but it is the way they did it that was so impressive. And frankly, this is a more sophisticated brand of football than we've pretty much ever seen from any U.S. team. Will it work against the big sides? That's still up for debate. We'll have to see. So taking a look at the tactical board, I've got the U.S. here set up in a 4-2-3-1, and that was kind of what it was, but also not really. It changed constantly because they rotated positions. So here's some of the things that I found interesting. First of all, Weah deployed on the left-hand side. During the entire Greg era, he was on the right. We've been seeing Musa deployed on the right-hand side a lot as opposed to in central midfield. One of the most obvious things we're seeing is Anthony Robinson coming into the midfield. Now, Tessman would stay in there with him, but what would happen is McKennie would get a lot more space to roam because he can cover ground and he's very fit and runs a lot. So once Robinson comes in, it provides Ream, McKenzie, and Scally the opportunity to form a back three. And a lot of the time it wasn't a back three because the U.S. pushed Jamaica so deep that Scally was actually able to get up and allow Musa to push even further forward. We also saw rotations where Weah would step in a little bit and Pulisic would take his spot out wide. We also saw Pepe checking in with McKennie running off of him quite a few times. And a lot of these penetrating runs through were also Robinson going up into these areas. So it is pretty fluid, and you could see this throughout the match. I mean, it would have been really fun to be in the stadium watching it live because players were really taking up whatever position and then someone else was filling behind it. So let's take a look at the clips and I'll show you kind of what they did. Yeah, Mauricio Pochettino must be pretty happy at this point. I think the team did exactly what he asked for. Now, this is right away opening moments of the match. So like they set up, you could see, with Scally as a right back and Anthony Robinson as a left back, but obviously that would change very, very quickly. You've got your two holding midfielders in Tessman and McKennie. Pulisic as the 10. You can see Musa way out on the right side. Anthony Robinson here already starting to step inside the midfield, realizes there's not really anywhere to go and Ream doesn't have a pass to him, so he drops back off. The ball goes into McKennie. He bounce passes it back to McKenzie, who I think has actually been really good under Pochettino. McKenzie gets the ball, starts to take it wide and plays it into Scally. And here is where you see them really take their shape. So you can see Robinson has gone straight into the midfield alongside Tessman, and that allows McKennie to push up. You can see Weah stretching way out on the left-hand side, Musa stretching up on the right, allowing Scally to get forward. This is part of the basic plan, and we would see it repeatedly. All right, so Pochettino really wants positional interchanges, and right at the start of this, we are going to see one between Weah and Robinson. So Ream had the ball. Robinson made a run down the channel. You don't see him yet in your picture, but what you can see here is Weah starting to run forward as McKenzie's going to play the ball out wide. There's Robinson coming into your picture, and you see they just switch spots. So that's already one example. Here's another one. You can see Weston McKennie starting to run forward. What does that mean? Someone needs to take his space. Ricardo Pepe's going to check in. Ball goes out wide to Musa, and the United States had a lot of ease finding those wide players. I'll show you that in a few minutes. But as soon as the ball does not go to Pepe, what does he start doing? He decides to run forward, and it allows McKennie to stay in that spot and be able to ask for the ball. Now, nothing happens in that area. You can see Jamaica have really shifted heavily over, but you've also got Anthony Robinson right in the middle, being marked by Demarai Gray. You've got Christian Pulisic finding a lot of space right in the middle of the park. This is basically what the United States want to create with their possessions. Timothy Weah, that's a way to come back into the national team. The last time we saw him in a USA jersey was Copa America when he got red card against Panama, was pretty much scapegoated for it. So for him to come back in this match, play as well as he did in a new position and eventually score a great goal, what a night for Timothy Weah. So let's take a look at a couple more of these rotations. You can see Robinson now established in the middle. You've got your back three. Now, as I said in the last clip, Jamaica were trying to do everything they could to cut off balls through the middle, but that left huge spaces out wide that they were not able to block. And so here you see Christian Pulisic just get wide. Robinson sees that he can start making a run out of the midfield because he doesn't really need to be in there if you've already got Tessman and if you're going to start pushing the Jamaican line back. Pulisic looks forward. He's got Weah on the side, so he plays it to him. Robinson keeps his run going up into the channel, and it's a nice little combination here between him and Weah. Weah gets into the box, maybe should score, unlucky to hit the post, but that was a great warning sign from the US just 3 minutes into the game. And we would see that exact same rotation yet again. Pulisic able to just get himself out wide, but this time, instead of playing the ball to him, Demarai Gray is really trying to pay attention. I don't want you to be able to hit that easily. But what it does is it creates a little gap. Weah sees it, makes the run inside, the split goes through, and now he can lay it off to Pulisic running in behind. Okay, so Pulisic goes ahead, plays the ball into Robinson, who, once again, operating as a central midfielder, gives him that option. They play the ball back, and check out this positional rotation that the US do here. So Pulisic is wide in Weah's spot. They could switch, but the ball doesn't go to the other side of the field. It comes back to Ream, so they have to take up the positions that they're really supposed to be in. Pulisic stays wide. Weah is really nice and open for a split. Once again, they do the exact same ball. This time, Weah just gets bodied off it, but Robinson had already started making that same surging run out of midfield, and fortunately for him, Pulisic picks up that loose ball, and Robinson's run is now completely on. Plays in Ricardo Pepi, who just barely toe pokes it. Blake makes a great save, but that's once again the option that Robinson gives you. And man, has his role in this team completely changed, and he's been quite impressive doing it. It's very interesting watching him in these positions because I never really thought of him as this kind of player. But look, he's got the engine to do it. He has the technical ability. Here as Tessman plays it into Pepi, who checks and bounces it back to Robinson. The US have actually now pushed Jamaica so deep that Scally's able to push forward, and they're basically just playing with a back two. Now check out Pulisic's movement here. He's going to run a little bit wide, force the Jamaican defender to come with him. And as the ball goes into Robinson, who turns, Pulisic now darts back across. And yeah, there's a lot of traffic in there, so Robinson doesn't play the ball. Instead, he starts running, and now he's penetrating well. Now, he's got way out wide if he wants him, but the Jamaican defense completely lost Pulisic. The ball goes into him. His touch takes him a little bit wide. Cross is blocked. But as you can see, there were really good rotations, and it just kept going, and every player was involved. Here you got Weston McKennie, who was sort of in that right-sided half channel. Now he's coming over here to help with a throw-in. Gets it from Weah, back into Pulisic. Pepi gets the ball, doesn't really know where to go, does the right thing to recycle possession, and let's just go the other way because it's a little too crowded. The funny thing is Weston McKennie, he started out here receiving the ball in the throw-in, now he's wandering back to the other side. As the ball goes out to McKenzie, even Scally is high. This is supposed to be your right center back. He is getting so far forward, he's dragging defenders with him, and that means that Musa, once again, is able to be found on that right side. Scally is going to need to be a little bit more clever here. There's one place he needs to go immediately, and that's the run down the line. It takes him a second to really figure it out, but once he does it, it opens up a new space. And check it out, Weston McKennie, after drifting from all the way on the left out to the right, receives the ball. Now he's got Scally making a run forward. And here's the first goal. The US are probably a little lucky here that Demarai Gray doesn't do better with this and slips and just takes the wrong touch in that scenario because he was wide open. But the way they broke was very good. From Musa to Weah, out to Pulisic, he turns and starts running, makes the right decision to cut back because he had two guys on him, invites Weah into the play. Weah switches the ball out to McKennie, and because Jamaica's right back was so high, there is a massive gap. And Pulisic is gonna see it, he's gonna make the run, and make McKennie's job pretty easy. I'm not really sure if Blake could have gotten on this. Either way, Pulisic gets there first, scores, it's 1-0, and it was no less than the US deserved, frankly. But they would grow in confidence as the half went on, and Tanner Tessman is a guy I really, really like. And you're starting to think, man, there are a lot of options in this midfield. He got his opportunity to start this game because Johnny Cardoso got injured in the last game, and frankly, I like Tanner Tessman better. He covers ground. I think he's very, very good technically. Involved in Pulisic's second goal. We'll show you that in a bit, but just check this out. Ball comes into him here. He's under pressure. Nice little back heel drag to get it out of his feet, and then he just sits in the middle and allows McKennie to run forward. Now watch McKennie's movement here. He got himself into an area where he could see a little split, and as he's moving backwards, it forces the two Jamaican players to basically pay attention to him and not to Scally on the right side. So Scally gets it. McKennie keeps running forward. Scally plays the ball into him. It's a one-touch bounce out to Musa, but this is all 10 Jamaican players right here in your picture, so the US can switch the play. But Weston McKennie had a massive impact on this game. I think he's really going to work in this Poch system because he likes to move. Now here he is receiving the ball, playing a bounce pass back to McKenzie, and then he takes a look around. He's like, yo, you can just give this back to me and I'm going to turn and go forward. Takes a touch out of his feet, plays the ball into Weah. Robinson can run beyond him. The ball goes out to Pulisic because, as we said, if Weah tucks inside, Pulisic goes wide. And now Pulisic is going to get the ball and have two guys making runs. Robinson down the channel, which means Weah should stay in that half channel. Pulisic reads the situation, goes inside, it comes back to him, and you'll see them regain their shape again. So here, as Weston McKennie gets the ball, you'll see a really good little interchange between Robinson and Pulisic. So Pulisic starts to move over. He's got Robinson right in his same area. And right now, there's not really a good pass. This positioning from the two of them isn't what you want. But if they can read the situation and move out of it quickly, they can make something happen. So watch, they're just going to do alternating movements and both basically get open. Completely open. If Pulisic can find Robinson here, I mean, he's in. Instead, Pulisic takes a big touch. It gets tackled off his foot. But that was yet another example of how if the players are able to recognize these positional interchanges, man, they are going to get open very easily and very quickly. But here's a fantastic counterattack by the United States that would lead to the second goal. So Ream intercepts the ball, plays it into McKennie. He bumps it to McKenzie and starts to make his run forward. As the ball goes to Scally, it goes into Musa. As you can see, he came in from the right-hand side, gets the ball basically where McKennie would be, and McKennie has now taken Musa's spot. Good little connection from Musa to Tessman, and the ball forward is an absolute no-brainer. He hits it one time as he should. It keeps the rhythm going. As McKennie gets forward, you see Tessman ran forward with the play. He definitely got a shout from Pulisic here, but it is a great little dummy. Fakes like he's going to shoot it, doesn't just let it run through his legs. The Jamaican player's attention goes to Tessman. They don't pay attention to Pulisic. I don't know why you leave him open at the top of the box like that. The shot gets blocked. It's a goal, and Pochettino is very happy. Yeah, I mean, this looked really good, and as I said, it's going to be far more difficult against better opposition who, when you lose the ball, hit you on the break much harder. But more than anything, you ask yourself, what is this going to look like when some of the established first-team players of the last few years come back into the fold? Where does Reyna go? Where does Dest go? Where does Tyler Adams go? It's nice to actually see that a guy like Tessman can come in and make a difference. And we saw Weah playing on the left-hand side when he had previously been on the right. So it seems to me as if Pochettino is creating a system that he can pretty much plug and play and put whatever player in those positions as long as they are intelligent enough and have the IQ to know when to move where. But either way, this was a fantastic match. I think it's the best show we've seen from this team so far in this era. This is the most sophisticated football we've seen from a U.S. team. So thanks for stopping by. I'm Sebastian North. This is Campfire Football. Take it easy.